Hello, all. Hello, patrons, and welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today for another reading. Thank you so much for all of your support. So this reading is going to be on the topic of, do they have a vested interest in me? So I want this to be, yet again, this reading, I want you to be able to apply it to various scenarios. You can apply it to a job situation, to a potential collaborator, to a romantic interest, to a friend. Whatever the situation is, the main point that we're trying to figure out is if the person or people involved have a vested interest in you within your situation. So my objective for this reading is to really give you clarity around, like, is there any point in continuing with whatever the situation is? What kind of interest is it? Is it genuine? Is it not genuine? Those kind of things. So we're going to be looking into it. We've got 4 groups here. I'm going to be live shuffling the cards. We've got group 1 with pyrite, group 2 with tourmaline, black tourmaline. We've got group 3 with clear quartz. And we've got group 4 with citrine. So you can pause the video now if you want to look over the groups and see which one attracts you, which 2, which 3, or is it all of them? And again, my spiel, if it's none of them, this might not be a reading for you. Just keep that in mind, and please use your own discernment and your own intuition in this reading as well. So with that, let's get started. We're going to get started with group number 1. So group number 1, let's get into it. So whoever this is, whatever situation this is, do the people or the person involved, do they have a vested interest in you? And what kind of interest is it? So let's get started with tarot first of all and get the energy around this. For group 1, in this situation, the person or the people involved, do they have a vested interest in group 1? Can you please give me the indication of whether or not they have an interest? The High Priestess and the 9 of Swords. Okay, so the thing that I'm getting here is that yes, there is a vested interest, but it's almost like whoever is involved doesn't want you to know that they are interested in you. It may be for purposes of, it might be, if it is a professional setting, maybe they don't want you to know prematurely or something like that. If it is more of a professional setting, this is giving me the energy of like, yes, there is a vested interest, but whoever is involved, there might be also a doubt from this person or these people whether you actually have a vested interest in them and whether you're actually interested in whatever the situation is. And so I'm getting a little bit of secrecy. I'm getting a little bit of kind of like an aloofness and a removed energy. But I feel like it's with the 9 of Swords, I'm getting a very strong energy that whoever is involved here, they are really hoping that you have an interest in them. But I do feel like it's kind of like there's no intention of showing that interest in you or really explicitly showing that interest. Again, maybe for professional reasons, it could be because it's too early, or maybe there is certain aspects that are not aligned yet in order for this person or people to come forward and really show their interest effectively. But I also feel like whoever is involved here isn't interested in showing their interest until they're completely sure that it is reciprocated. So it is a little bit of a more removed energy, but I am getting that, yes, there is an interest. But maybe you're coming off as a little bit colder and aloof. Maybe you're coming off as someone who's a little bit kind of like, I can take it or leave it. And so there's a little bit of mirroring that could be happening. So if you're not really showing an explicit interest, this person or people will also not show explicit interest in you. But the answer is yes from these two cards to me, because the Nine of Swords indicates that there could even be a lot of thinking that's going on behind the scenes, with the High Priestess being the behind the scenes card and the Nine of Swords coming through. It's kind of like there's a lot of interest behind the scenes, but it is not explicitly shown. So that's the answer to that. So let's keep moving, and I want to see what kind of interest it is. What kind of interest is it? What kind of interest is it? Wow, the Devil. Okay. For those of you who are asking about a personal situation, this could be the kind of interest where the person kind of is coming through as controlling. The person could also feel like there's some sort of a feeling of being controlled by you. So again, I'm getting a very strong mirroring energy. If I'm being honest, the interest doesn't feel super genuine. It feels like an interest that is serving their own fulfillment or their own controlling tendencies. So if it is a personal friend or romantic connection, I would just say be a little bit careful. Of course, use your own intuition in this reading. I must really, really highlight that. So if this doesn't resonate, obviously this may not be a reading for you. But what I'm getting is this person is more interested in you from a point of view of like, what do I have to gain from this? And how can this situation or this person, how can group one serve my own controlling tendencies or my own need for control and authority even? If this is a professional relationship or a professional situation, it could be that that's the kind of angle that the company or the organization that you are connecting to is taking. It's like, yes, there's an interest towards you, but the interest is very transactional. And for example, if you were to be hired by this place, by this job, by whatever this is, or if you were to connect with this professional situation, the other party is really interested in their control of you rather than a mutual exchange of ideas, a mutual exchange of energy. The Seven of Swords in reverse kind of indicates to me that that could be revealed to you very quickly or very soon, especially like if you take the job, you could figure that out very quickly when you get there. Or if it is a person, you could really, really figure that out very, very quickly. When you interact with them, if that makes sense. But is there an interest? Yes. And I almost feel like there's a little bit of an obsessive feeling. I mean, if it's a job, obviously, maybe this job is really interested in getting you on board. Or if it's a professional situation, it's like we're very interested in getting group one on board and they would be a great asset. I feel like whatever this is, the other party is aware that you would be a great asset. But at the same time, this other party does not want to express that, show that. And it's kind of that feeling of like, if I show group one how great they are, if I show group one how intensely interested I am in them or we are in them, they would figure out their worth and their value. There's a little bit of a feeling like the other party does not want you to know your own value and your own abilities. And it feels like the other party would benefit from you seeing yourself from a less confident point of view. So the energy here is not the best, and I very rarely say that in my readings. But this feels like, we don't want, or I don't want group one to know how great they are, because that would make it harder to control it would make it harder to control group one. It would make it harder to control and get what I want out of group one. And so, yeah, just be a little bit careful with the specific one, and you will know. I feel like for a lot of you, you will intuitively know. Some of you might already intuitively be picking up on that, and this is just a confirmation for you because the High Priestess is here. So we've also got the Page of Wands. So yeah, I am getting a very, very strong interest. With the Page of Wands, I do feel like the interest is very fiery. It's very quick moving. So I'm also feeling like whoever this is or whatever this is, the other party, their interest comes in as quickly as it leaves, or it leaves as quickly as it comes in. So this could be someone quite impulsive, or if it is a professional situation, it could be that the culture in the job is to kind of bring you in, make you feel like this is like the best job that you've ever had or something like that. But very quickly, you're not, all of a sudden you're not being seen for all your qualities, for all your, everything that you can bring to the table. But there is an awareness that you can bring a lot to the table from the other party in this specific group. And the Sun card. The interest is very strong. I have to say that. Like, if it is purely you're just kind of curious to see if this other party has a vested interest in you, this is definitely a yes. It's a very strong yes, but the nature of the interest feels self-serving. It feels like there's not an equal exchange. I keep hearing what's in it for me. So it feels like selfish kind of energy. With the Sun, I usually would take it as a very positive energy. And I feel like whoever is represented, whatever this other party is, they do see you from a very positive light. They see you as a very positive energy. Like you could bring a lot of positive energy into their life or into their environment. They see the benefits of being with you or being around you or like having you on their team. But the thing is, at the same time, the Sun can talk about egoic pursuits or kind of like an egotistical mindset, especially when we've got the Devil here. That's what it's making me think. And I do feel like it's not something that's going to be a secret for a very long time. It's something that you're going to figure out very quickly. Let's see what else. I want to pull an astrology card here as well. Destiny. This person or this energy, this other party, these people could feel like it's your destiny to. It's funny because I'm not getting that they're seeing it from the perspective of like, oh, it's our destiny to bring this person in, or it's my destiny to bring this person in. It's almost from the other point of view. It feels like they're saying, oh, it's group one's destiny to be with me or to be on my team or to be here. If it is a job, it could feel like this job feels like you're a perfect fit for the company or for the job. But again, the perfect fit because they feel like they could take a lot from you. They could take a lot of your knowledge, a lot of your optimism, a lot of your energy, and it would be a great asset to them. But for some reason, there's that sense of like, oh, they might even say something like that to you, or this might be expressed to you like, oh, I feel like it's your destiny to be with me or to be on my team, to be on our team. I do feel like you were you were always meant to come in contact with this person or people or situation. But it's not so that you can get involved with it per se. It's more so you were meant to come in contact with it so that you could experience this energy and discern whether you want to go into it and get involved in it or whether you kind of want to stay away from it. So This is almost a test in discernment. That's what I feel. It's kind of like, can you feel a really intense interest in yourself? Can you see the other person or the other party be massively interested in you and show a very intense interest? And I feel like, especially energetically, you're feeling this interest very strongly. And maybe you're kind of going like, am I crazy? Because energetically, I'm feeling this interest very strongly, but at the same time, I'm not getting from the actions or from my interactions with whoever this other party is, I'm not getting that the interest is there, but energetically I'm really picking it up, and it may almost make you feel a little bit confused or disoriented. But I feel like on an energetic level, you feel the interest from this other party very strongly. And I feel like the test here, or the lesson here, is to feel a very intense interest from the other party and still be able to discern if it's not good for you. Of course, I'm not going to tell you if it's good for you or not. If you feel like, no, this is something I want to get involved in. One thing that I will say, you can get involved in this. I don't think it's the end of the world if you get involved in this, to be honest. But I do feel like you would have to set a lot of boundaries, and you would have to be very careful about giving your all to whatever this situation is. You would have to be very careful about, allowing yourself to be put into this Nine of Swords energy for the benefit of this other party. How do you feel? Do you feel like you can be unshaked in your overthinking? Do you feel like, you know what, I actually feel like I'm very in control of my thoughts and my feelings, and so I don't think I will overthink. I don't think I will be losing sleep over this person or this opportunity if I do get involved here. If the answer is a yes, you can get involved, but I feel you won't want to be involved with this thing forever, or this person or this situation. That's one thing that I'm picking up on here. It's like, you will not want to be involved here for, a long time. I tell my inner child that I'm sorry, I'm ready to nurture them with love to heal their wounds. The inner child energy makes sense here with the Page of Wands and the Sun. So I wonder if your inner child is attracted to this situation for some reason. So maybe something that your inner child feels like they're lacking, the situation might be presenting to you. One thing that I'm getting, it's kind of interesting because I'm getting a lot of fun with this option. I'm getting a lot of fun and excitement and celebration here. And that kind of way, like when a kid thinks that something is fun and they're just so attracted to that fun energy, but fun doesn't always mean that it's going to be morally right. It doesn't mean that it's going to be something that will serve them in the long run. You're attracted to the fun. So if this is like a person, maybe you're really attracted to how fun this person is, how much fun this person can offer you. There's a lot of vitality. I wonder if whoever is involved here, they're selling themselves or selling the job in a very fun and exciting way. And your inner child is like, yes, shiny and fun. I want this, and your guides are just saying, while there will be fun, and I think you will enjoy yourself, there's also a sense of control, like a controlling energy behind that fun. There's controlling, domineering energy even behind that fun. And the fun can turn into something where you are being... or the fun can almost, it's kind of like the fun can be this shiny thing that entraps you. So again, I don't want to scare you too much though. Again, I don't want to sound too dramatic, but we've got the moon here as well. You may feel like you're going to be emotionally fulfilled with this specific situation. I think there is a sense of, if this is a person especially, I feel like this person does have some sort of an emotional feeling towards you that is very strong. Like, for example, if you're asking about a friend or a romantic interest, there are emotions involved, there are feelings involved, but they are very convoluted. There's almost a feeling, maybe this person who you're kind of thinking about, if it is a person, they could be emotionally chaotic. Um, there's a feeling of both of you trying to get in touch with your inner child through each other. And your guides are asking you, do you really need this person to get in touch with your inner child? Because while this person, it's almost like there's two sides to this energy or this situation. There's going to be opportunities to have loads of fun and to be really connected to your inner child and to play around and be really like free spirited in this energy. But that's not all it's going to be. There are complicated energies kind of lying underneath behind the surface. And at the very core of what this interest from this person is a very controlling inner child, I would almost say. Their inner child almost wants to control every outcome, control every person that they're, in contact with. It's like, I must control the outcome. So I'm not necessarily getting that this is like a bad person or someone who's very sinister in any sort of way. But this is someone who is obsessive in their need for control, in their need to control every moment of their day, control how they feel, and ultimately control you in some sort of way. So is there a vested interest? Definitely. Definitely. Almost an obsessive interest, I would say, from the other party. But at the same time, an interest that this party doesn't want to show too explicitly and will do their hardest not to show very explicitly. And I feel like this energy, the other party, goes between this very light and childlike energy and this controlling, obsessive energy. And I feel like something that I'm getting here for some of you in this group, getting together with this person or being friends with this person or getting involved with this other party, it could be a good option for you when they balance themselves out a little bit more. Because I'm seeing I'm seeing a possibility of that. But it's not the case right now. The feeling that I'm getting, it's like that's this person's or this other party's potential. This other party's potential is to actually be this Page of Wands, the Sun energy. This other party's potential is to be this very light, very positive, very optimistic energy. But in reality, this positive, optimistic energy that wants to celebrate and be joyful is attached to this devil energy and the Seven of Swords energy. And another thing that I'm getting here is that this other party is kind of, there's a fear of being exposed for who they truly are. So I feel like this person hasn't done a lot of shadow work if it is a person. This person hasn't done a lot of shadow work, hasn't done a lot of, going within and understanding their own fears. So like there's a fear of like, what if I'm exposed? What if I'm exposed? And so while this party is very interested in you, they're also afraid that you would somehow expose them or expose their true nature. But I feel like their true nature is not even that bad. It's just that they believe that this person might believe that they're like a bad person, or this person may feel like they have a lot of skeletons in their closet, but the reality is they just have a shadow side, just like anybody else, just like any other person. And having a shadow side is completely normal. Having kind of like shitty qualities, in inverted commas, or having like making mistakes, having shitty qualities, being like an asshole in some sort of way is kind of natural for us as humans, right? We are, depending on who you ask, if you ask the right person, I'm sure there's always going to be a person who's going to say, oh my God, yeah, that person is the worst. They're a fucking asshole. I hate them. And I think this person believes that everyone is of that opinion of them. And the only people that are not of that opinion of them are the people who haven't exposed them yet, or haven't, it's like they haven't fully revealed themselves to them yet. And I think that comes from a very inner, like it comes from an inner child point of view, which most things do. But I do feel like on the inside, this person is a, like a really joyful, cheerful child. Again, if we're talking about a person, obviously this won't apply for like a professional situation, but you could apply that to a professional situation, and maybe it's like a company that started out with really good intentions or something like that, and there was a lot of joy at the core of it, but now it's almost like the company and the higher ups in the organization or whatever believe that they are not a good, like they're not a good organization or whatever. um there's this feeling of like, oh my god, what if this person sees all the shitty things that I am? But I feel like the thing is, if they allowed themselves to show their shit to you, you would not, look at it from a perspective of like, oh my god, this person is literally the devil. You would not look at that from that point of view. You would not look at it from a stance of, oh my god, they are the devil, they're so sinister, they're evil. You would actually be very understanding and very nurturing about it. But the thing is, it doesn't matter what you would think, because this person would always have this perception that you hate them, or you have this like feeling of disgust, even I'm getting towards them. This person has a lot of work to do around how they perceive themselves, and how they think other people perceive them. They need to be very careful, because their own, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Their belief that everyone thinks that they're shit, or once they get to know them, or their belief that, they have these like skeletons in their closet, and there's so much, evil behind the scenes, because of their shadow side. It's just because they have a shadow side, just like every single person. But because of their belief, that can actually become like a very toxic pattern, where they are fulfilling this prophecy that they believe themselves. It's like when we believe in something, we tend to fulfill it. When we have faith in something, which this person has a faith in, almost seeing themselves as this devilish energy, when in reality they're actually like a big kid at heart. Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's almost like this, what I'm hearing is like, it's not too deep. I feel like that's what their guides want to say to them. It's like, it's not this deep. It's really not this deep. It is deep, but it's also not this complicated. Like, it's just your shadow side, and you're allowed to be flawed. You're allowed to have flaws, and you're allowed to make mistakes. And of course, the severity of your mistakes can vary through your life, but as long as you address them and you take responsibility for them. But it's like this person, and it kind of makes this person, or this energy, this other party, avoid responsibility, because it's kind of like they're trying to hide things. They're trying to hide things that they don't necessarily need to hide as well. So, let me reiterate. Interest, yes, tons of interest, almost obsessive interest towards you. The interest is quite skewed because of the controlling tendencies. There would be a lot of fun around this other party. I also think this party thinks that you're fun, and you could bring out this more lighthearted version of themselves. But again, just because you can bring out this version of them, just because you can bring out this like lighthearted, cheerful, joyful, celebratory energy in them, that does not mean that you're going to eliminate whatever is going on here, whatever obsessiveness that this person experiences. I also feel like for some of you, this is not going to be for all of you, but for some of you, this other party may have certain addictions. And again, please remember, addictions are not only substances. It can be things like food. People can be addicted to the gym. People can be addicted to so many things. People can be addicted to like perfecting themselves. Money. People can be addicted to money, to fame. People can be addicted to attention. Like, it's all very real. I feel like this person has certain addictions that they use in order to fulfill this sense of fun in order to bring in this lighthearted celebratory energy, but it's kind of like a vicious cycle, because every time they use these addictions to bring this fun energy in, the fun energy depletes in intensity. It's kind of like, oh, well, all of a sudden it's not that fun to be doing this. So, it's kind of like someone who uses substances in order to have fun because they can't do it without the substances. But again, that's just an example. And it's not going to be for everyone here. So, but yeah, to answer your question, there is an interest here. But I would think twice and use your own discernment in whether you want to proceed with whatever this is. Because the thing is, this could actually be quite stressful for you. And again, it kind of feels like, the feeling that I'm getting is like someone who almost wants to feed on your energy, or like a company that wants to feed on your energy. And that is not the most pleasant feeling to me here with this group. So interest, yes. Consider whether you want to pursue it though. So we're going to move on. So thank you for hanging out with me. If you like this reading and you want to share some feedback or something like that, please feel free to do so. But I'm going to move on. So we're moving on. Let's move on to group number 2. Black Tourmaline, let's get into your reading. So we're going to be looking into, first of all, is there a vested interest from whoever you're asking about, whatever you're asking about, whatever situation you're engaged in here? So group 2, is there a vested interest in this situation in group 2? 4 of Wands, that's a yes for me. That's a yes. It's also a very stable interest. It's an interest that is very genuine, very stable. Whoever is interested in you here, their interest is not based on any like selfish reasons. Their interest is very... I feel like whatever your interest in this other party is, it's kind of mirrored back to you. It's very similar, but I also feel like there's no pressure with this interest, which I like. Wow, there's a very strong interest here. Yes, this is an interest, someone who's interested in you, or a job that's interested in you. Now, if this is a job, this is a great, great combination of cards for a job. I have to say, this is going to be a job that's very stable, or a project, or whatever this is, or like a collaborator. This is someone who could be an amazing collaborator for you. This is someone who could really, really bring up your financial situation even. So like if you get this job, this is definitely a job that's going to pay you well. I feel like this is like a job where you're getting bonuses, you're getting extra cash. The interest is very genuine. It's I also feel with the 6 of Pentacles, it is the energy of being charitable or being very generous. So there is a lot of generosity of interest coming from this other party, which I really, really like looking at these cards. So the interest is definitely there. It's very stable. And another thing what I'm hearing is this interest is not going anywhere. And I think that's very nice. So if you're asking about a person, or like a friend or a romantic interest, like this friend is not going anywhere. This partner is not going anywhere. This, maybe you went on a couple of dates with this person. This person is not planning on going anywhere. They're solidifying their interest in you, but not in like an overbearing way. If your interest began to dwindle, or if your interest began to shift somewhere else, this is not someone who would try to like keep you by their side. This is not someone who would try to control you or hold on to you. Similarly, like if it's a job or like some sort of collaboration opportunity, career opportunity, this is not something that would be hard to leave. Like if you wanted to move on to another job, it would not be a job that would like, try and penalize you for leaving or anything like that. So positive energy, like really, really positive. I'm really liking it. Very, very stable. And I keep hearing, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not planning on going anywhere. Three of Swords. So I'm asking about, sorry, I had it in my head, but I'm asking about what kind of interest it is. So a little bit further. I'm trying to see what kind of interest it is. With the Three of Swords in reverse, it makes me feel like it's the kind of interest where whoever this other party is, they could actually help you heal or get over certain hurts from your past or certain disappointments from your past. So again, I like this. There's a mending kind of energy that I'm picking up on. I'm just going to reshuffle because that's too many cards. Okay, wow, yeah, this is a very, if this is a person, this person is very hopeful about where like the connection or the relationship can go. If this is a job or like a career partnership, that again, very similar. It's kind of like whoever is involved here, there's a lot of hopefulness. Now, the only thing that I will say with the Ace of Wands in reverse, there is a need to pace yourself with this person or this other party, basically. There's a need to pace yourself because both parties, both you and the other party, have a tendency to get overexcited about certain things. So like, again, if it's a job, maybe this job is kind of like, I don't know how that would even work out, but it could be that there's too much excitement and that can like burn very quickly. Now, I don't think it's going to burn out. I don't think it's going to burn out, but it does, it would serve you well to pay attention to, you know, it would serve you well to pay attention to, the fact that you're pacing yourself or kind of checking in with yourself, like, am I pacing myself okay here? Especially if this is a relationship or a friendship, making sure that you're taking some, like, a step back for yourself, that all of a sudden you're not only just hanging out with this person constantly 24/7, that you're giving space to this connection, and you're similarly with a friend, that you're not becoming kind of like too integrated with each other too soon. But again, I think it's something that you can definitely manage. And we've got the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is in reverse, and a lot of wand energy. So there is a lot of passion a lot of creativity that I'm picking up on as well. But when the Five of Wands is in reverse, it can often talk about solutions to conflict. And the feeling that I'm getting, again, with this other party, this other party will offer a lot of solutions to conflict that you might come across within this connection or this situation. So it's this feeling of if there is conflict, if you do get involved with this person, if you become friends with this person, if maybe you already are, or if you take this job, there's really good conflict resolution indicated here. So it's like the conflict resolution is always present, and it's very easy to navigate, and it's never overbearing or like overly intense. There's a lot of passion without it getting too intense and kind of out of control. That's why I like this energy here. It's like there's enough stability to hold you down and keep you grounded, but you also have to be like self-regulate. It's kind of like it will require you to self-regulate and make sure you don't merge too quickly, move too quickly. I also feel like you will never feel the need to compete within this situation. So if this is a partner, you will never feel the need to compete with other people for their attention, or you will never feel like you're just an option. If this is a friend, similar. If this is a job, you will never feel the need to compete within the company or within the organization, because you will always feel like you're fulfilling your purpose within the company. And if you want to climb up the ladder or something like that, there's always going to be opportunities to do that. Whatever the situation is, it's really reassuring to see the Five of Wands in reverse here. It's like you will never feel like you have to prove yourself or go above and beyond. I think you will do a lot of work here. You will put a lot of effort into this. I think you will put a lot of effort into expanding whatever this is. If you are going to proceed with whatever this whoever or whatever this party is, if you are going to proceed with them, you will be expansive in your energy here. but it will always be grounded, it will always be appreciated, and you will never be asked to do more than what's comfortable to you. And we've got Scorpio energy. So the Scorpio energy, again, does make me feel about like this passion is very strong. I also feel like this is something that you could get really, really in depth with. So if this is a relationship, this relationship could be very, very in depth, but also Scorpios really like this very intense loyalty. So I do feel like there's going to be a lot of loyalty and in-depth understanding of each other between you and this other party. This other party definitely has a vested interest in you, that's for sure. And again, this I'm not going anywhere. The thing that I was hearing is very resonant for me with the Scorpio energy. There's a definite interest here. I can't deny that. Let's see what else we've got. But I like how expansive this energy is, but it's expansive in a way that is also very in-depth. So there's a lot of research involved. Maybe like, you know, if this is a person, you will get to know each other on a very deep level. You'll want to kind of almost research each other, but not for creepy reasons, you know, not for negative reasons, for positive reasons. I also feel like if this is a person, this person might really want to get to know you in depth so that they could give you things that you truly need. This could even be like, you know, them researching you and your interests in a very in-depth way so they could give you good gifts and presents. You know, it's kind of like, oh, I want to give you really unique and very specific niche presents. So I really want to get to know you very, very intimately. There's a lot of intimacy between you and this other party. And again, it's like if it's a job or like a collaborator, let's say if it's a collaborator in a workspace, this collaborator will really want to know your needs and like what do you need as a creator and what do they need as a creator and how can you work together best. There's a very investigative energy, but it never crosses a line, if that makes sense. It's like being investigative, being passionate about each other without crossing any boundaries or crossing any lines. We've got support. You do not have to face everything alone, accept help and support from others. Very strong connection to the Six of Pentacles, I think, because the Six of Pentacles can be about help and support. So I do feel like whoever this other party is, they're a very supportive party, very connected to you through support and help. So if this is a person, this is someone who wants to help you, be there for you. You could also, if, like, for example, if it's a friend or a partner, you could meet other supportive people like them through them. If this is a job or a collaborator, you could almost meet and network with people who would be very supportive and collaborative. And I feel with this Five of Wands being in reverse, that also makes me think of there's not much competition with this party on this other side. There's no need to prove yourself, and therefore it feels very natural and very easy to support each other and to be there for each other because nobody's trying to compete with anyone. Nobody's trying to throw anybody under the bus. I really like this energy. I feel like this is such a, like, I'm struggling to see any negatives within this group. So, and the interest is very strong, especially with Scorpio. It could be, another thing that I'm getting with Scorpio, it could be that this person is already kind of like trying, like I'm getting a little bit of a, again, it's not a creepy energy, but this person could be looking you up online. But again, if it's a collaborator, maybe they're a fan of your work and they're really looking at your work online. If it is a person who's more of a personal relationship, they are looking you up online, but it's not like they're stalking every single post. It's more so like they're curious about you and there is already a very strong interest behind the scenes. We've got the 8th house. So the 8th house can be about death and rebirth. So it's death and rebirth, it's secrecy, very resonant with Scorpio energy. I wonder if there is, but it's also intimacy and things that we share with other parties intimately. intimately, sorry. So the eighth house can talk about things that we share intimately with people. So it's like grief. We can share grief very intimately with people. We can share loss very intimately with people. Pleasure can be shared very intimately with people. Resources can be shared very intimately with people. And the thing that I'm getting is that, especially if it's a person, this person may have a longing or like this feeling of yearning to share things intimately with you. Whether it be sex, pleasure, loss, grief, resources, connections. They don't care. It's just there's a feeling of like, oh, I wanna get to that intimacy with group two. Now, if it's a job, it could be that this job creates a sense of intimacy. So maybe you feel very safe in sharing your opinions, and you know that, like, your boss is not gonna fire you or go off on you or something like that. The eighth house, I feel like a lot of people are scared of the eighth house, but I honestly, I really enjoy the eighth house in astrology because it does talk about merging with someone, sharing things with someone, and then splitting away from them. So, and it doesn't mean that you will be splitting away from this person. For example, if this is a romantic interest, it's, splitting with someone can also be intimate. Like a breakup with someone is intimate. It ideally should be intimate, right? Going through a breakup or a divorce with someone can be a very intimate experience, and only the two of you know what it feels like to break up with each other, to split away from each other. So I do feel like there's a very strong interest here. There's a strong longing and yearning for intimacy here. I mean, I'm not crossing it out that this could be about a career situation for some of you. But I do feel like for most of you, it makes more sense if it is more of a romantic or, an emotional connection, or like a friendly connection, because there is that sense of like, I want to have this bubble of intimacy with you. I do feel like this person, if this is a romantic situation, has some sort of a sexual interest in you as well. But I don't think that's the... there is a lot of sexual energy here as well. But like, even though it's very, very strong, and we don't have any cups, I will say that we don't have any cups. So there's not a lot of emotional energy. So it could be that this person, if it is a person, is just not very emotional. Or kind of struggles with their emotions, or their emotions are not necessarily something that rules them very easily. But I can't help but feel that even though there's not a lot of emotional energy here, it's very stable and grounded. And it's not something that is just, there is a little bit of that with the Ace of Wands, like sparking things up, like something sparking up very quickly and then dying down very quickly. But the thing is, if you pace yourself, that's not going to be the case. I feel like both parties here might be a little bit intense, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just about managing this intensity and managing not going quicker than what feels comfortable and the pace that feels comfortable. And it's not that either of the parties will force each other to move more quickly than the other, or quicker than comfortable to the other. It's more like you might get so excited being in each other's presence that you might not even notice that you are not moving naturally, if that makes sense. So the more you can make this into a slow burn rather than a quick burn, the better this situation or this connection will play out. But to answer the question of the reading, yes, there is a vested interest. Absolutely, 100% there's a vested interest. This interest is not going anywhere anytime soon. There's a lot of passion. That you will not have to prove yourself. There's not going to be much competition. And there's going to be a lot of support coming from this other party if you choose to reciprocate this interest. There's going to be a lot of support and help. In fact, this might be someone who feels passionately about helping you, which is very, very interesting. So that's what I have for you, group number 2. If you like this reading and you feel like sharing some feedback, please let me know in the comments what you thought, if you feel like it. But I'm going to move on. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. So let's move on. We're moving on to group number 3. Let's get into group number 3. Is there a vested interest in you from this party that you are asking about? Let's get into it. Is there a vested interest in group 3? 9 of Wands. 4 of Pentacles. To me, it's a no. There's not a vested interest here. But it's also... it's not even that there's no interest because it's this apathy. There's no interest because it's like, oh, this person hasn't even noticed you or something, or this party hasn't even noticed you. It's because there's either trust issues involved. So it could be that this person is very careful not to have interest in things. So if it's a person, it might be someone who does their very best to not have an interest in a person, for example, or does their very best to guard themselves in some sort of way. Because it's both of these cards are very guarded. They're very guarded. They're very closed off. So this person may be too closed off to have an interest, or this other party might be closed off to like not very trusting, not very open. And so no, there's no interest. There's no vested interest. And I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear, but for some of you, maybe this is something that's helpful, you know? Maybe it's actually giving you a perspective here. For some of you, maybe you're just curious, but I have to say, I'm not seeing like a vested interest here. It's kind of like the energy is, you know, in order to have an interest in something, you have to allow your mind to wander, I guess. You have to allow your energy to wander. And this person or this party keeps the energy very close. Like, no, these are the things I'm interested in. These are the people I'm interested in, or whatever. It's like, it's not very easy to get this person's interest in general, if it is a person, for example, or it's not very easy to get this organizations or corporations interest in general. You know what I mean? It's not easy to get this party's interest in general. And so I don't want you to feel bad about it, because it's not something that most people can attract, if that makes sense. But no, I'm not seeing a vested interest here. Someone very closed off, someone who doesn't trust things very easily, or, you know, if it's a job or a professional setting or like a career situation, it's really hard to get this job or something, or this company organization to notice you. Like if this is something like you did an interview or something like that, for example, and you're asking, do they have an interest in me? Do they have an interest in hiring me? It's probably a no, but it's a no because maybe there were so many people interviewing that day or something like that. Oh, a sneeze. I always take that as a confirmation. It's like a Russian saying, when someone sneezes after a statement, you always say, oh, you were telling the truth. So I feel like, especially if it's a job situation, it could be that maybe there's so many applicants or something like that, or there's so many details and elements that it's kind of hard to attract the interest from this job or something like that. Okay. So no, I'm not seeing a vested interest here, but let's ask why. You know, we don't want to just end the reading here. Let's ask why. If it is a person, I definitely feel like this person's very closed off. You know what? This person's very closed off and they could have a lot of trust issues, but I also am getting that whoever this is, they're kind of happy as they are right now. Like it might even be someone who's not even looking for anything. You know, if you're kind of trying to see if this is, you know, is this someone who has an interest in me romantically? it's a no, but it's a no because they're not putting their feelers out. They're kind of happy in their current state. They're happy where they are. They're not necessarily looking for anything. You know, it's like if someone's not looking for a romantic interest, they're not going to be interested, if that makes sense, you know? If this is a friend or something like that, it could be that this friend or like, you know, an acquaintance that you're wondering if they'll be a friend, they're just like, oh, well, they're happy where they are and they're happy to have people as acquaintances or kind of like peripheral friends, but they're not looking for a best friend or anything like that. Another message that I'm getting for those of you that are asking about a career situation, this came through. This is a very specific thing, so I'm aware that this is not going to apply to everyone. This position could actually already be filled internally, but it's like they had to do the interviews or something like that. It's almost like they already have someone for this career or like this job position or whatever. So that's only going to be for probably like one of you or something. Group 3, can you please clarify why is there no interest? It's like we're happy the way things are already going. So whoever this other party is, they're kind of content with how things are going already in their life. They're quite content with what they have, the kind of people that they have in their life, the kind of situations that are playing out in their life. They don't feel the need to add anything extra onto their life right now, if this is a person. And because maybe that is because also of some like closed off energy around trust issues, because it could be someone who's very careful about who they let into their life as well. Another thing that I'm getting is that for some of you, I don't know if this will make sense. For some of you, this person may be moving or changing location soon, or it could be that this person tends to travel a lot. And so they're very careful not to get involved with too many people when they're traveling, or because they're aware that they're going to be moving or traveling, they don't want to get involved with anyone, because like they're kind of thinking there's no point in me getting together with anyone or making like too close of a connection with anyone right now, because I know I'll be moving on, I'll be going in a different direction soon. I feel like this person's planning some sort of a move in their life, if this is a person, and all of their attention is either on that move or that goal. I feel like this person is very self-focused right now, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm not seeing that it's a bad thing. It's not coming from this egotistical point of view. It's coming from a point of view of, I'm really focused on my goals, my aspirations, things that I want to achieve in my life right now, rather than, you know, people outside of me. And we've got the Page of Wands. Funny, we got these two cards in one of the other groups as well, so it's just very interesting that they're repeating. It's just, I'm just getting someone who doesn't even notice many people around them. Like, and this is not to take away from you or your shine. And I actually feel like this person thinks positively about you and the experiences that they've had with you. I actually think this person sees you as someone who they had a great time with, if it is a person, or if this is a job, they see you as, so like if you interviewed for a job, the interviewers thought that you were great and you made a really good impression. But again, the circumstances are not really allowing for a vested interest. Like, if this is a person, this person definitely thinks positively of you, and has a really positive, optimistic attitude towards you. But it's not like, you know, for example, if you went on a date with this person, it's like they had a good time, but they went on a date maybe because they wanted to have fun, not because they want to have a relationship or something like that. If you hung out with this person in a friendly environment, they're kind of like, they want to have fun with people. They don't really want to create any strong bonds with anyone, because they already have like a group of friends and they don't really want to overstretch them with having more friends that they have to kind of maintain, because like maintaining friendships is also a difficult thing. It's not something that we should be doing willy-nilly either. It's like having a close friend, requires energy and work just as much like as a relationship does. So I think this person kind of likes to have fun. Something that I'm getting is that this person is so fun loving and quite excitable, quite joyful, but they don't necessarily, it's like they know how to make everyone feel special. They know how to make themselves feel special. But at the same time, there is something about trust issues. It's kind of like this person is this, you when you meet this person, you might get an impression that they are just like really open, really easy going. It's like so easy to connect with them. But in reality, it's really hard to get to know them that like to a deep level because they regulate themselves quite strongly in terms of being interested in people and being invested in people. I feel like this person, it's not that this person is not interested in you because there's something like wrong with you, which is obviously like wouldn't be the case anyway, but there's nothing wrong with you from this person's perspective. In fact, the energy is very positive. There's nothing that you lack from their perspective. They actually see you from a very positive lens, but they're not interested because they're not really interested in anyone right now. This might be someone who really loves being single and they don't feel the need to be in a relationship. They don't feel the need to be connected to someone. Again, if that's the kind of scenario that's happening here. It's almost like someone who's very joyful, very open, but it's more, the outside world perceives them as joyful and open. In reality, it's really hard to get to know this person. That's what I'm getting. It's really hard to get this person to become invested. Mercury. This is definitely someone who, like I'm getting a social butterfly. So maybe this is a bit of a social butterfly and they're just enjoying this social butterfly energy. Now, again, if this is a job, I wonder how would that translate? Or a career situation, how would that translate? Let me think. I also feel like to some degree, this person might say yes to a lot of things or to kind of like say, oh my god, yeah, we'll definitely hang out, and they think it's no big deal, and they think like, you know, oh, don't people just say that? And then the other person's like, okay, when? Maybe this person's kind of like, yeah, we'll definitely do this, we'll definitely hang out, but they have no intentions of following through. And, you know, from their point of view, they're just like, oh, that's just something people say, but they don't realize that like someone might be sitting there like planning the next, you know, hangout or planning. This person moves very quickly. This person moves on from things very quickly. And again, it's like, I don't want to say that not with bad intentions. That's for sure. And sometimes it's almost too quick with the Eight of Wands being in reverse. It's like, it can be too quick where they give people whiplash because people think, oh my god, I've met this amazing person. I'm going to be around them. You know, people get invested in them. But I also think it comes from a place of fear. Like this person is afraid to become invested in people because in the past they could have become invested in people and it burned them pretty badly. That's what I'm getting as well. Like there's more to this than just them being a social butterfly and being quick, like, you know, a quick energy and just being like, oh my god, I'm just a free spirit. They definitely are, but there's more to this. That's not all it is, you know? There's definitely something behind the scenes, like some trust issues, some feelings of, you know, I've been burnt before, I don't want to get burnt again, I'd rather just keep surface level relationships. If you think this person is shallow, they almost prefer to keep a shallow attitude to relationships right now. Because when they got deep with people, it hurt a lot. And it was very, like, I keep getting, there's like a Russian phrase that I'm thinking of. It's kind of like, there's not a direct translation that I can think of. kind of when something, I'm getting the imagery of them like throwing a boomerang into the like some deep energy, and the boomerang comes back and hits them in the head. And it's like they probably got involved with some people in a very deep way, maybe early on in their life, maybe, you know, childhood friends, or, you know, friends in their early years, and, you know, maybe they got betrayed, backstabbed, or something like that, or maybe those relationships just didn't work out, and that really affected them. Okay, so we've got the universe. I am living in the infinite universe, and there is an infinite universe living in me. So this person might be kind of like that. They might have this energy of someone who, and I'm also noticing, see the way it says fun at the back, and she's kind of like at this carnival or something like that. It's like this person lives fast. And I'm hearing that song, you know, live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Maybe that's the kind of person that this is. And I can't help but see that I keep saying person. So maybe it is more of a personal situation in this case. I feel like this person thinks that if they live fast and they don't get too involved or too invested in anyone that they're connected to, that their life is going to be easier. But that's obviously not true. That's obviously not the case. But it doesn't mean that they didn't like you or that they didn't feel like you were a good time. I feel like they did. I especially feel like whoever this person is, or whoever this other party is, the conversations that you have had together meant a lot to this person and really broadened their mind and their worldview. I feel like this person loved talking to you and communicating with you. But again, they're very careful not to invest too hard into people. It's like, it's not something... Oh my god, we've got Mercury twice. And we've got a butterfly here on this, literally a butterfly. They're social butterfly. They almost embody the social butterfly archetype a little bit too much, I think. They almost embody this social butterfly archetype to the point where they can be almost flighty and flaky, I almost want to say. But this flakiness and this flightiness, there's more to it. That's what I'm getting here. It's like the energy here is, the reason that they're so flaky and flighty is because they actually are protecting something here. They're protecting their heart, or they're protecting their energy, because their energy got really bruised up at some point when they did become involved intensely with someone. I think, so from the point of view, is there a vested interest from this person or this party towards you? No. But it's because they do a really good job at not becoming too invested in anybody. It's like they've created a filter for themselves. It's like they've created a system for themselves where they can't become too attached to anybody. It's like, oh, I don't get it. I don't get attached to anyone. I'm just this social butterfly. It's like, if I never attach myself to anyone, then I can't get hurt again. And it's going to be amazing. Oh, this person is a little bit delusional about that. That's for sure. But I think at the same time, they're aware that they have trust issues. But it's almost maybe right now, in this present moment, as we're doing this reading, they may not want to like face that. Maybe they feel like they need to do some fun loving things. They need to have some fun. They need to enjoy their life. And like, who are we to judge them for that as well? We don't know what happened here for them to be doing this. But also at the same time, obviously, if this person over promised something to you, or kind of said like, yeah, we'll definitely do all of these things together and this is what we're gonna do, and then they didn't do it and they just like ran away or moved on, obviously that's shitty as well. So This is someone who's definitely not ready to commit to a very involved relationship, if it is a person or a friendship. Someone who wants to keep things light. Someone who, they might be a bit of a commitment phobe, to be honest. This group 3 person. Um, that's more so what I'm getting. The lack of interest is not because there's something, that they didn't see in you as a person. Because again, I'm getting really positive energy, and I'm getting that they loved, especially talking to you. Like, it feels like you had some amazing conversations with this person. But the lack of interest is because they are not here like to commit. They're not here to get too invested or too involved. They, as soon as they feel themselves being pulled into a very, very intense investment or intense interest, they're like, oh, I'm out of here, goodbye. Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting for this group. So that's what I have for you, group number 3. So that's your reading. That's what you got for this question. If you feel like sharing some feedback, feel free to do that. But I'm going to move on. And thank you so much for your support, and thanks for hanging out with me. So let's move on. So we're moving on to group number 4. The citrine group. Let's get into it. Let's see. Is there a vested interest from whatever party you're thinking about, whoever, whatever? Is there a vested interest in group 4 from the party that they're thinking about? 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And 4 of Wands. Okay. Yes, there is an interest, but it almost feels like it hasn't fully developed yet. It's kind of like it's walking the line. There is an interest, but there's more to learn almost. Like, I'm getting, before this person or this party gets interested in you, it's like, oh, well, there's more to learn before I become completely interested. There's more to explore. There's more to figure out before I get completely interested. So maybe this is someone who's just being a little bit cautious, but this could also be someone who values longevity as well. So it's like, before I get too interested, let me make sure that there's opportunity for longevity here. Because I am getting a stable energy from whatever this is. So yes, there is an interest, but an interest that is partial, or just doesn't feel fully developed yet. It's kind of like this person is on this fence, like, kind of like, well, am I interested or am I not interested? Or if it's a job, maybe it's kind of like, let's say you went for an interview. Are they interested? Yes, they are, but they could also be interested in another candidate, and they're kind of like comparing the two right now. So there's that feeling of like, need to learn more. So there might be a follow-up interview or something to decide between the two candidates. Or, if it is someone you're asking about romantically, maybe they're trying to decide, well, maybe I need more information about group 4. Maybe I need to get to know them a little bit better before I completely find myself interested in them. But there is a certain spark of interest, that's for sure. I do feel like there's a certain feeling of like, I would be very interested, that's the feeling that I'm getting. But I feel like this is someone who maybe moves slower, or this is a job that moves slower, like, maybe the interviewing process is a little bit slower. This could be if you're asking about like a platonic relationship, maybe this is someone who takes their time with getting to know new friends. I feel like it's a yes, but it needs more time to be like an 100% yes. I feel like it's more of a like 70-80% yes right now. That's what it feels like. It's like, I need more information. I need more in order to know how interested I am. That's what I'm getting. It can definitely grow into a full-blown yes, but again, with the right conditions, with the right, like I'm getting compatibility is really important to this party. So this party is really interested in assessing compatibility. It's like I'm not 100% sure yet that we're compatible, or I need more information. I need to learn more. Okay, so tell us more about this interest. Slow energy. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, slow moving energy. This is definitely someone who likes to take things slow if it's a person. If it's a job, it could also be a job that likes to take things slow in terms of their hiring process. It's like, we're going to take it slow, nice and easy, no rush. It's like, if I rush this, then I'm going to fuck it up. That's the feeling that I'm getting. But the interest is definitely there. With the Lovers here, the interest is there. It's, I almost feel like for some of you, for most of you, I would say, it's someone who is interested, or, the other party is really interested, but they are pulling themselves back on their interest a little bit and being like, let me rein it in a little bit and just let me not get too ahead of myself. Let me not get too overexcited here. So, this is someone, if it is a person, this is not someone who makes decisions lightly. This person likes to really assess every corner of the situation, every aspect of the situation before they make a decision. If this is a romantic kind of like connection, I do feel like there's a lot of attraction. I think this person feels very attracted to you, but just because this person is attracted to you, from their point of view, attraction is only one element of the connection, and they're so like, yeah, I am attracted to this person. I'm attracted to group number 4, but there's so much more that I need to learn about group 4 before I can make a decision on whether I'm interested or not. So, would we have good conversations? Would we vibe on an emotional level? Would we be good together practically? Like, there's so many things to consider. This person has a Virgo vibe to me. I don't know if this person has some strong Virgo energy in their chart, some Queen of Pentacles, Virgo energy too. This is definitely who wants to move slow. It's like, I'll get there when I get there. So I feel like if you tried to rush this person in terms of showing interest, or kind of getting them to show you interest, or for them to say definitely, like, do you have an interest in me? They might get scared off, to be honest, from these cards. They might get kind of like, oh, I can't be rushed. I need to take my time with this. But I also feel like this person is not like someone who's trying to play you or is trying to deceive you. It's genuinely just that they're a very slow moving person. This could be someone who's ruled by Saturn. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. I do feel like this person has maybe made some rash decisions about their interest in certain people in the past. And so, again, they might have kind of seen that as a mistake, as like, I was too impulsive in the past and I don't want to be impulsive again. I want to weigh all my options carefully. I want to make sure that I know what's going on. This person may also be almost a little bit over careful. Like, it's almost like they're trying to assure too many things before they kind of like leap into it. So, but I don't know, maybe you're a slow moving person as well in those kind of situations. So maybe this suits you. If this is a job or like a career situation, it could be that it may take a long time for you to hear back from this job, but I feel like there is a strong interest here. It's just, they may need to do a lot in terms of paperwork. There might be a lot of details that they want to iron out. They may need like references, all of this stuff before you can come on board. So, is there an interest? Yes. What kind of interest is it? Very slow moving kind. The kind of interest that you're kind of like, I mean, I guess you're interested. You told me you're interested. You told me that you're you've showed me interest, but the way you're showing me interest is very reserved and very step by step. It's not very quick. It's not very impassioned. But one thing I'll say, if this is a romantic or like a some sort of a, I don't know, like a crush or anything like that, or like a romantic energy, this person definitely has an attraction towards you. But they see that as only one element. You know, it's like, yeah, I am attracted to you, but that does not mean that we are compatible. The compatibility element is really important to this person or this other party. It's like, we need to make sure that this is completely compatible. I'm seeing almost like a scientist or like someone in a lab being like, okay, this is compatible with this and this is compatible, and this that, like, they don't want any explosions. Like, that's what I'm getting. It's like a very careful scientist who doesn't want any explosions. This is not a mad scientist. Maybe in many ways I feel like this person might see you as a bit of a mad scientist, and that might make them a little bit nervous. Or maybe this job, like, they might see you as unconventional in your approach, and while there is an interest, they're kind of like, is it unconventional but good, and is it actually going to serve us well, or is it going to like create a volcano or an explosion? We've got Aquarius. So Aquarius, again, Aquarius energy, speaking of unconventional, here's Aquarius. So this person feels like if they were to connect with you, especially, again, if this is a romantic situation, especially, I feel, it would be very unconventional. It would be kind of like out of the norm, kind of eccentric even. There's something about this that feels eccentric to whoever you're asking about. Maybe you're asking about a collaborator or something like that, and this collaborator might think like, oh, this could be refreshing, this could be like a fresh take on my work if I collaborated with this person, but it would also be very eccentric. But is it a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing, but I need to think about it a bit more. Is it the right kind of eccentric? Like, this person definitely likes to take things slow and really map out all their steps, like, oh, and if I do this, this might happen, and if I do this, this will happen. Very meticulous, slow moving, restrictive, and they may feel like you, while they see how the two of you could be compatible, and I feel like they see that compatibility very strongly, they also see that you are someone they're not used to. You're not their usual type, maybe, even if this is a romantic connection, or maybe you're not the kind of person that this company or this job usually hires, but they can see the benefit in hiring you and the benefit of you being different at the same time. Or, you know, this person sees the benefit of being with you, although you're this different type of person, because I almost feel like maybe this person is getting to a point in their life, if this is a romantic connection, where they're like, yeah, but like sorry, the people I'm used to dating, yeah, like, I'm used to dating them, I'm used to being around them, but these people I'm used to dating, like, they haven't brought me any results, they haven't brought me anything good, so who's to say that I shouldn't try something new, I shouldn't try something different. I think if you are interested in this person and you want something with this person, definitely don't rush them. But again, if you've been waiting ages already, of course, say whatever you want. Your tarot cards will never tell you what to do. But I do feel like this person gets a bit spooked when they're rushed, when someone goes, come on, you're taking ages, you're taking forever, I'm tired of waiting. Like, they get really uncomfortable and they go, oh, leave me alone. But one thing I'll say, I don't see any like negative intentions here. I'm seeing a positive intention, but they're almost looking at it from the perspective of like, they're not only looking out for themselves, they're also looking out for you in some sort of way. So like, if this is a romantic connection, they might think that they wouldn't fit in with your life. They wouldn't fit in with your circle of people. That could be something that they're thinking about. And it's a genuine thing that they are considering. We've got onward. No need to overthink. Move forward with the decision. This person just needs to move forward with the decision. They need to decide. It's almost like they need to decide, yes, 100% interest. Whereas right now they're like, okay, I have 70% interest. I am attracted to this person. I can see that this person's very beautiful and very cool, and like they're just like this amazing person, and I have a very strong um like attraction or a strong yearning for them. But I, just because I have an attraction or a yearning does not mean that like this is a good connection. So I can't make a decision, and I feel like the universe is almost screaming at them, being like, oh my god, just make a decision, leave this person alone or proceed with them, like decide already. That's the feeling that I'm getting. I mean, maybe you're similar. I'm not saying that you're not like this either. You could be in this kind of energy as well, and maybe that's something that you also need to hear. Maybe you're someone who's very slow moving as well. But although I do feel like this person sees you and them as very different, and there's almost a sense of like this would be a peculiar pair, but like I'm also really attracted to that. The fact that this is peculiar and eccentric, I'm attracted to that. I feel this feeling, these feelings of yearning for that. I think this person wants something different in their life. They're kind of bored, I think. They're bored of their other options. They're bored of the things that they've been doing before, that like the tried and tested methods. Similarly, if it's a job, it's like this job is probably like we need to start hiring different types of people, because the people that we usually hire, they are not doing what we need them to do or whatever. Or like again, or if it's a friendship situation, it's like this person might be thinking, well, maybe it's time for me to get a friend who's different from me, and who would create this new kind of energy in my life. Maybe it's time, like I'm bored of my other options, like my previous Saturn, slow moving energy, of course. And the original ruler of Aquarius is Saturn as well. So this person could be an Aquarius rising, especially. This person struggles to make a definitive decision, because this person almost wants to safety net themselves around whatever this is. So, or, this organization or this company. But I feel like they need to decide. The decision has to be made. So is there an interest, vested interest in you from this party? There is an interest in you. It hasn't fully formed, but at the same time, there is a very strong attraction, a very strong yearning for being in your presence, and a very strong feelings of like, oh, I just want to be around you. But at the same time, it's almost like this person could be very practical. I think there's a vested interest from their more energetic side. Like energetically, they're very interested in you. Practically, they're kind of like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to do here. And, I'm almost getting this like robotic energy to them. So they're like, I have to decide, will this compute, will this come together? They almost want everything to fit perfectly like a Lego, and that's just not the way life works, and they need to also understand that. But I do feel like this person hates being rushed, hates being told like to move quicker, and this person just tries to safety net themselves too much, to the point where they kind of overwhelm themselves. And I do feel like this person is aware that if they move any fucking slower, that they're gonna lose you. Like that's what I'm hearing. If it is a person, and maybe similarly to a job, if this is a job that maybe you're already in this job and you're asking like, do they have an interest in me? I think this job knows that if they move any fucking slower, they're gonna lose you as a worker and like a really valuable part of the team or something like that. So I do think that there is a strong interest there, but it's almost like whoever this other party is, they won't allow this interest to be 100%, but it's only because they're just so... I keep hearing they're so chicken about it, so that's what I'm hearing. And they might be a little bit... like I am picking up on a little bit of a cowardly lion energy. It's like I'm a little bit cowardly about this because I like to be so cautious. There's definitely, isn't it the first word I said, I think, when I pulled these two cards was cautious. And that's exactly what it is. And I think you're not, the way that you're coming across to them, I think you're coming across as someone who's not really that cautious and maybe a little bit impulsive even. And that kind of intimidates them. I think this person is intimidated by you, and that stops them from putting the full, or like whoever the other party is a little bit intimidated by you, and so that stops them from like moving forward with it. But I do feel like whoever is here or whatever is here, they're aware that if they move any fucking slower, they're gonna lose you as someone in their life, or that they're going, like, not lose you in this dramatic way, but they're not going to hold your interest for a very long time this way, if that makes sense. So that's what I have for you, group number 4. Very interesting reading. If you feel called to share some feedback, I definitely would love to hear about this one, because it almost feels kind of like you might even laugh at this situation or this person. And it's not necessarily that this person doesn't make you maybe upset or whatever, but it's like you almost see it as kind of borderline comical. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for supporting me. I really enjoy doing these readings for you. I hope you have a great day, great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.